So today, guys, I am going to be cooking some stuffed shells. So who's ready to cook? And for this recipe, you're going to need some shells, of course, some mozzarella cheese, which I will grate that up. You're going to need some ricotta cheese, an onion, some marinara sauce. You're going to need some Parmesan cheese. This is freshly grated Parmesan cheese, your ground meat, some fresh parsley. I also have some dried parsley here, 2 eggs, some basil, and some Italian seasoning, and 2 eggs. So I'm gonna start out by putting my ground meat in the pan and season it a little bit with the seasoned salt. So I got my ground meat started in the pan. I added a little bit of seasoned salt. I broke it up. I'm gonna let that cook. In the meantime, I preheated my oven to 325. Once it's all done, you're only gonna cook that for 25 minutes or until the cheese bubbles. So now that my ground meat is all done cooking, I added some onions. We prefer the red onions, so I added some red onions. That's all done. I'm going to drain that off, and I'm going to start my shells, and I'm going to mix my marinara sauce to the ground meat and then start my cheese sauce. So I got my water started for my shells, and then I'm going to add 3 cups of the marinara sauce. You can add more if you need more. I'm going to stir that all together and add a couple more seasonings. So I'm going to add some basil. No specific measurements. I just usually add it to my likings. I'm going to be adding some dried parsley and some Italian seasoning. Once my water came to a boil, I added a pinch of salt and my shells. I'm going to let this boil. When they're al dente, not overly done, I'm going to then take those, drain the water, and add some cold water to stop the cooking time so they don't stick together. Now that my meat sauce is done, I'm going to add this to the pan, and I'm going to set it to the side, get my cheese filling prepared for the shells, and then I'm going to layer the shells on top with the filling and sprinkle some extra cheese on top. So I got my cheese mixture started. I got my mozzarella, Parmesan, ricotta, my parsley, and 2 eggs. I'm going to mix all together, and that is going to be the filling inside of the shells. So now that my cheese sauce is all ready, I'm going to start stuffing the shells. Here I already layered my meat sauce in the pan. And again, I'll just put the shells on top and add some cheese on top of the shells. I'm going to be adding Parmesan cheese because I just realized I used all my mozzarella cheese in the actual cheese mixture. But it should still come out the same. You just want some cheese on top. I might even use some American cheese. So I separated the shells on a pan. Be careful not to overcook because they will split and break. But I will make that work. I'm going to get those stuffed up, layer them on top, and let you guys see what it looks like. Here's the shells all stuffed. I used every bit of mixture. I had just enough to do, let's see, 6, 12, 18, 19 shells total. Again, I used all of my mozzarella cheese, so I am going to just actually sprinkle the top of them with some American cheese. Let this cook in the oven for 25 minutes. And then I'll take it back out and let you guys see what it looks like. Oh, you want to cover this with aluminum foil. Okay, so this is going in. Wish me luck. Again, I ran out of mozzarella, so I used sharp cheddar cheese, and it can't be too bad because I like shredded cheddar cheese on all my pasta dishes as well. So here's the final look of the stuffed shells straight out of the oven. I'm going to let them sit and cool for a while. I'm going to serve these with some green beans and some garlic bread. So here is the final look of the stuffed shells with green beans, and it's absolutely delicious.